Hey, what's up? I'm going to show you a real easy way to play Nutshell by Alice in Chains, the unplugged version, acoustic, as well as Down in a Hole, finger-picked, acoustic version. Before I start off, I just wanted to say Alice in Chains, my favorite band of all time, hands down. I listened to them for like a 2 or 3 year period exclusively, like from age 18 to age like 17 to 20 or so. And I don't know if you see my prior vids, I had a room with Hendrix posters hanging all over. I do like Jimi Hendrix a lot. I think he's the best guitarist of all time and so on and so forth. But it was actually Jerry Cantrell who inspired me to pick up a guitar. Both his singing and songwriting and guitaring abilities. And so I've always played whatever Jerry played and tried to learn whatever Jerry played. First songs I ever learned were these two, Nutshell and Down in a Hole, with my acoustic. And then as soon as I got my first electric, just a Yamaha Pacifica, really cheap, I learned Man in a Box, and I learned the solos to that one, Sunshine, everything. I am just in love with Alice in Chains. Pre-Lane's death, Alice in Chains, classic Alice in Chains. So that was like in the late 90s, early 2000s. I didn't listen to them back in the day when they were hot. I listened more to Nirvana and Pearl Jam and stuff like that. And then when I started listening to Alice in Chains, I'm like, oh shit, this music is so dark and yet so beautiful. And part of that was Jerry's writing, his amazing musical genius and writing genius, as well as Lane's contribution. His voice is just unparalleled. So some of the tutorials I've seen, especially for Nutshell, are a little overcomplicated. So there's just an easy way to play. I don't really play acoustic a lot. I'm going to be using a pretty crappy Fender acoustic. I do have a Taylor in storage, but I don't break it out very often because I don't play acoustic a lot. But I just came onto some tutorials for Nutshell especially, and they kind of overcomplicate things. So I'll just do it and then kind of explain. So this guitar is in tune, but it's in tune relative to itself. I don't know if it's in tune, full stop. All right, so there's not going to be any beat. It has a kind of a weird stanza structure. It's not a 4 stanza type song, so I just start going. Messed up a little bit right there, but you get the picture. And the solo is basically at the 12th fret, right? Whenever you see me hammer on, you should bend instead. Just this acoustic is not good for bending. So starting off, so it goes into like that. And then you go directly. Yeah, the action's a little bad on this guitar. But in any case, so to get that sound, to start off, this song it's in E minor, G major, either way. I would say E minor more. But to start off, you want to make like a G major shape with your ring finger, and then with your middle finger, you can either do a E power chord shape with both fingers, your index and your middle, or just your index is what I like to use. Because if you do both the middle and the index, you get an octave, you get an open G octave, which adds some color, I guess, but I don't really need it, so I just do it like that. So this is not, I guess there's a chord name for this, but it's basically E minor in the beginning, first few strings, and then G major at the end. And it's the same chord, right? It's the same relative minor major, so that's how you start the finger position. And then you go. Like, the rhythm of it is kind of complicated. You have to listen to the song and then figure out the rhythm for your strumming pattern. So it's... Okay, so what we do there is, when we're done with this, we go right into D major, D major. And then right into a special type of chord. You're fretting, you're basically fretting a C major, except you're doing it with your middle finger, your index finger, and you're having your ring finger on the B string at the 3rd fret. So instead of a C major, you're doing something like this. It's a really cool chord. I don't know what you would call it. You could call it an E chord, because you can include the E, because it is an octave. And then when you do that, like, make sure you separate the strumming to, like, so don't just strum the entire thing. It sounds too muddled. You want to hit the top part and then the bottom part on your up picking. And as you can see, I'm hammering on the E. That's the part to emphasize. So when you're doing this, you want to be doing that, right? And then at the end, you can just go. Right, always land on the G and then the E, so. Sorry. So you want to watch the performance and then this part. And again, the chorus is... It's hard to do on this guitar because the action is so terrible. And it does not intonate well past like the 7th or 8th fret. So basically you can find it on tabs. You know, it's just an E arpeggio octave. Back a whole step. And I usually like to slide for that. So I slide one position. And then, or you can do, and then you go directly back into. And the second one sounds like this. Right, and then same. Again, this guitar doesn't bend well, so you want to get the strumming pattern down. That's the most important aspect. And again, it's really simple. Just form a G on the last three strings, and then form a E minor, just basically a power chord on the first 3 strings, and you go. So really emphasize that hammer-on octave E. Again, that chord, you know, we're starting with the E minor power chord and the G major half and half. So when you're doing your down strumming, don't include the entire 6 strings. Just include the top 3. When you're doing your up picking, just include the last or the bottom 3 to the extent you can control it. And then into a D major. That should be an upstroke, and then downstroke. The first time you downstroke it, I would just do the entire chord voicing. And then you just go back into that same half chord position. So again, it's this chord. Again, this guitar is not really good. The action is terrible. It's very painful. So be ready to hit that D major. I want to make sure the nut is in the video. Anyway, this guitar is pretty bad. Like, you can't bend. Like, you can only bend a half step, if that. Like, if you're trying to play, I don't know, Pink Floyd, like not Comfortably Numb, but this one. Sorry. This guitar is really hard to play. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's painful and the action is bad. But to get the get that, you don't really need a really expensive guitar. All you need to do is have the fingerings down. Always remember to hammer on that index finger onto the D string, D into E. Basically, it's an octave. Oops. And that's how you end that part, so. So try and make it as fluid as you can. You can also do this on a Strat or even a Les Paul, but obviously it sounds better on a Strat. It sounds super nice. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And for the sorry, my skin is kind of peeling. I got sunburned really bad on vacation. For the chorus, you just want to learn the tabs, but it's really easy. You want to do bends. You don't want to do you don't want to do hammer-ons. You want to do bends, right? This guitar doesn't bend well. It's really hard. That's basically it, nutshell. So. Yeah, it's kind of hard to play from there, but you can look at tabs. Like, it's, you want a vibrato, and actually go one position up, and then for this one, it's kind of like Stairway to Heaven. The arpeggio, I mean, just up picking it. Okay, now part 2 is gonna be, I'll keep this in my mouth actually. Part 2 is going to be Down in a Hole. And that's actually the first song I ever learned. But I couldn't figure out finger picking right at the very beginning. If finger picking is new for you, then this is the perfect song to start out with. I actually don't play a lot of I play mostly hard rock, blues rock, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff, Jerry Cantrell, Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd. I played that kind of music, and, you know, Hendrix, of course. Also some contemporary like John Mayer. So I don't finger pick a lot. I'm not like a pro at finger picking. Like, I was at a event a few months ago where this like 70-year-old dude was like finger picking folk songs all over the place because he was just part of that generation. He was a huge Dylan fan. But Down in a Hole can be finger picked. The studio version, it doesn't sound to me like it's finger picked, but the Unplugged, MTV Unplugged version is definitely finger picked. So it goes like this. You can see I misfretted and missed some of the pickings there. But once you get the flow down, you'll be able to do it perfectly. I just don't have calluses on my hands because I haven't played in a long time. But you're starting off with an A suspended second chord, right? Your key is A minor, or at least I think that's the key. But it's 2 stanzas on A minor, 1 stanza on D major, 1 stanza on G major, and then 1 stanza on D major. So it's, you want to hammer on the minor third. So you start off with the suspended and the octave. This is one of those things that you have to finger pick, or you can use a pick and use the other part. Right? You have to do a what do you call it? A double stop, right? 2-tone. Right? So you do it, just you finger pick it. And you don't have to have long nails or anything like that. You can do it with the fleshy part of your finger. Sounds fine on both acoustic and electric, but and then you go into G. As you can see, we spent twice the amount of time on the A minor. Right, and that's not even correct finger picking because I don't finger pick a lot. If you notice, I did all those 3 picks with my index finger. That's not correct finger picking. But this is an easy enough song to learn finger picking so that you can get it down. So when you do, so I'm finger picking my middle on the G, and then my index finger on the D string, and my thumb is on the open A, and my ring finger is on the B string that is going to be hammered on. It's an A suspended second that's hammered on to A minor. Right. And then you go like, so you have to be able to go very quickly from the G to a D major. Fortunately, that's one of the easiest chord changes, going from, right? And I don't even fully fret the G. I just like I leave this open because you don't really need it. All you need is this, so you just need the bass octave, right? So it's A minor or A sus2 minor hammer on, and then do it again, and then go back. Oh yeah, the one thing is for this one you want to do, like, there's 2 versions of the open G. There's one where you fret there's one where you don't fret the B string. Sounds fine. There's one where you do fret the B string. You include it in the 3rd fret, right? It sounds better to me. It sounds fuller. So I always fret the open G like that. But some people don't do it. Some people just fret the high E string, and then that's perfectly fine as an open G. But for this song, you want to have both fingers fretted on the E and B strings, because you want that instead of, right? It doesn't sound, it's not the correct sound where you have to be, so like it's, and if you mess up, keep going. Eventually you'll get it, and then that's the intro part, and the strumming part is just strum however way you want to strum it. Just make sure you're in rhythm. And you can do the hammer-on or not. You could just do something like that. And then as far as the rest of it and the solo, you can look all that up and fret in the tabs and all that. This is just the intro for those two songs. Oh, I think for Nutshell we covered the chorus part. Yeah, I'm hitting dead frets just because it's getting painful. So learning to fingerpick is obviously very cool because it's basically the arpeggiated version of being able to do a claw grip, right? So it's like, right? You can do the Jimi Hendrix claw. So finger picking, being able to hit those bass notes, double stops with the other note, like that. So yeah, it's definitely worth learning to finger pick. I could do a lot better at finger picking, but this is a really easy song to finger pick. Again, down in the hole. All right. And then I guess there are some songs that sound like they're finger picked, but you can actually economy pick them or alternate pick them. Let's see which one. Something like Some Kind of Feeling by Boston. You can it sounds finger picked, but you can economy pick it, like, whoops, that was too fast. Mess that up. Yeah, my string skipping is not that good right now because I'm not used to this acoustic, but yeah, I mean, some finger picked parts to songs you can actually use an actual pick if you're good with string skipping and economy picking. But the Alice in Chains one, like, the Alice in Chains one, you actually do have to finger pick because it requires a double stop. So if you have a good acoustic, something that costs at least, I don't know, $700, you should have no issues with dead frets and stuff like that. It's just this acoustic is not a very good model. I do have one in storage, but I don't really play it a lot. It's got a humidifier. It's a pretty expensive acoustic. But yeah, nothing beats the sound of a really good acoustic. So I hope that was helpful. If you like Alice in Chains, that's awesome. Alice in Chains is the best. Best wishes to Jerry and crew.